Hey guys, I would like to talk with you today about my own thoughts on the topic of extremism, knowledge, and how when these are applied, they can be transmuted into wisdom. So, in my personal life, I received quite a lot of criticism from other people in regards to my extreme tendencies and behaviors. I suppose because people find it quite weird or strange that I swap from one extreme to the other, and how this is really making sense. Why can't I just go the middle way, the golden middle way, as the Buddha said? What people rarely seem to understand is that Buddha himself was living a very extreme life. He started off in one extreme, one polarity, being extremely wealthy, the Prince of India, having everything that he could ever wish for, to the other polarity of having absolutely nothing, abandoning everything that he had in his life because he saw the futility of it all. And this is what essentially led him to the golden middle way in his own life, finding out the truth of where life is headed. And you see, it is my conviction that without this extreme polarity that he went through, he would have not been able to find that middle way in himself. He would have not been able to find the truth in himself and as himself, right? So it is in the polarities that we find the equilibrium. It is sort of like a pendulum or a swing, right? You know, a seesaw. Well, you need counterbalance on both sides to really find the equilibrium in the middle. Otherwise, it is just going to tip one way, and you're not going to have the full spectrum, the full picture of what is really on the other side of what you currently hold to be true or believe in. So we really need the full scope of our knowledge in the subject matter in order to really gain the insight and wisdom as to what is the truth of the matter. And sometimes it's not just a matter of a dualistic this or that. Sometimes there are multiple aspects to consider, and so this is a continuous journey of sort of refining your own knowledge, and this is done through experiments, through experience, through practice, because you can read online all that you want, and sure, this can give you some insight into what might be true about a certain particular subject, but it is not going to really grounded in you to teach you the fundamentals of what experientially works in practice for you. Because at the end of the day, life is not lived up here in theory, it is lived bodily, experientially in the world, with the world, in the social and worldly interactions that we go through in everyday life. So this is why knowledge alone is not going to take you very far, because we need the wisdom of applied knowledge in order to really utilize what we know. Because you see, if you simply know something theoretically, and sure, it very well might be true, but if you've not tested it out, and if you've not tested out the contrary position, the opposite of what that might be, well, then where is your inner compass? Where is your direction in life? Because you're really just headed one way without questioning if there are alternate ways to go about this. And sure, you can have some conviction that this one particular way is going to take you there, and fundamentally, what I believe in, it is better to actually go the wrong way and find out that this is the fucking wrong way, and then turn around and head another direction. Because this is how we actually learn through experience, which is fundamentally far, far better than just being theoretical about it, being philosophical about it. Because we need to actually test out, build a hypothesis, and eventually come to a theory of how life functions and works. And we can only do this in our own experience. Because you see, fundamentally, our direct experience in life, of life, is the true determining factor in whether something is true or not. Sure, you can point to science saying this and that, and obviously it can be true, but if it is not experientially verified in your own self, well, then what good is that theoretical truth if it doesn't actually coincide with your own experience of the world? So that is why I believe that our own experience is the fundamental way of determining whether something is true or false. And so it would be my utmost advice to you to really start being extreme in your life. Start going the opposite way of everyone else. Try things out. See, so if you find some very abstract, abnormal thing online, I mean, there's so many practices, things that you can try out. And a lot of it might be very outlandish, very crazy, because you see, even myself, for instance, I tried drinking my own urine for a month straight. Just to see if there was anything to it. I didn't experience any benefit. I don't use that one experiment to discredit whether or not there is something to it, but I am willing to really go that extra mile to experiment with myself. It is really n=1, because at the end of the day, it is only my experience that is relevant for me, isn't it? So if there's one takeaway from this video, it is really that knowledge without application, without practice, without direct experience of confirmation, without that application, it is utterly foolish. And sure, there's a quote saying that a fool who persists in his folly may eventually become wise. Well, sure, but maybe it is time to really wise up right now and realize that we need to apply all this knowledge. We need to test out our hypotheses. We need to test out the theories that we have conceptually in our minds and apply them to our lives to really learn experientially and gain insight into how the functions of the world operates and how we ourselves operate. And with that, I wish you all a very wonderful day. If you have any thoughts on this topic, I would very much love you to comment down below and let me know what your thoughts on this topic are. Thank you very much. This is Christian from Cell Cymatics. Have a great day.